every hour, every day. The grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
Trick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayana the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
2564 is coming up on Barney 9, right?
2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching, don't change it down.
Yeah, it's a lot of football over the week. It never stops the action, and of course, it is going to continue today as the Gunners Arsenal play host to the Blues of Chelsea, this time at the Emirates Stadium for the second leg of the Carabao Cup 25-26 season. Good evening and welcome. It's your favorite football show, The Locker Room, of course, on Voice of the People Television. I am Afiz Ogubanjo, and you know how we do it for the next 15 minutes thereabouts. We'll be discussing everything, breaking down everything behind the scene and even on the pitch, of course, as it surrounds that beautiful game, the Jogo Bonito, as we like to call it. And of course, I won't be doing this alone. But before I introduce my guest, please, not even a guest, he's a big man, he's a big name. But before I introduce him, yes, please do well to follow us on all our social media handles. Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. We are on YouTube at Voice of the People TV, and of course at VOP TV Plus. Yes, where you can follow us live. And of course, like, comment, subscribe to the channels, and of course, turn on your notification bells so you won't miss any of the exciting episodes of The Locker Room and also of other programs we have on both platforms. And of course, Jerry Apelohai, the man, the big man, is here with me as we break down everything football. Of course, Jerry, are you looking forward to the game? Yes, that's talking about Arsenal against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup tonight.
Yeah, it's a big game for both sides. Arsenal is on form this season. Runaway Premier League champions, if things go well. And against the Chelsea side, who changed the manager, who a lot of Chelsea fans and likes have called him the ChatGPT coach. But
a PE coach, right?
Yeah, inexperienced.
He's a young manager.
A very young man, and a point to prove against another manager who has been trying to prove points for the past 4, 5, 6 seasons.
6 years, yeah.
And it has not come close. Talking about the Arsenal course, but it's going to be a very big game for two London sides.
Yeah.
Rich history, so much rivalry among the two teams.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's home and away.
Yeah, it's home and away, and the home leg has been played.
So we're going to see two classic games from these two sides.
All right. And of course, Maiwa, Alao will also be joining us. Yes, we'll be letting you know when he joins us, of course. And, well, a lot has been happening in the football world. And, of course, we are going to start the show and break it down because the Wafcon, of course, is getting really close. We have just less than 50 days or thereabouts, of course, to the start of the Wafcon. And there's controversy. There has been controversy over the past week, and it's still going on about who is going to be the host of the Wafcon. Where will the Super Falcons, potentially win their 11th Wafcon title? Who is going to host the tournament? Is it going to be Morocco or is it going to be South Africa? And of course, yes, Maiwa, yes, he is here with us. Maiwa, I just asked a question before I go into that. Of course, Arsenal will be up against Chelsea at the Carabao Cup. Arsenal, they are trying to, end a long wait for a trophy. And of course, maybe Carabao Cup might not be considered as one of the big ones, but of course, it is a trophy regardless. But Chelsea, they know everything about winning trophies and they'll be standing in their way. Arsenal won the first leg. Do you see a tight affair in the second leg, or do you see Arsenal going through? Good evening and welcome to the show, Maiwa. Sorry.
I think this is a good opportunity for, Arteta and his boys to be able to, break the jinx.
Yeah.
They like.
All right. Maiwa, we are still waiting for him to join us. Of course, maybe we have had some technical issues there. But of course, when he joins us, we will be engaging him. But let's start the show and let's tell you about, like I mentioned, the host of the Wafcon is in controversy. We don't know who is going to host this coming AFCON. Of course, it's due to be Morocco, but it's looking like there's some cloud over it because South Africa's Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, has contradicted Deputy Minister Peace Mabe's announcement that South Africa would host the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON after Morocco are about to withdraw or they are looking to withdraw. Mabe claimed that South Africa had the infrastructure and support to host, but Mackenzie stated that discussions were still ongoing and no formal decision had been made. And of course, Mackenzie emphasized that South Africa had expressed willingness to support CAF if needed, but no official confirmation of hosting rights had been received, and the Confederation of African Football CAF has not yet issued an update on Morocco's withdrawal or new hosting arrangements. And Mabe's comments were made at an award ceremony, suggesting that South Africa was ready to host, given its experience with major events like the 2010 Men's World Cup and the recent G20 summits. However, Mackenzie clarified that any hosting decision will require formal confirmation from CAF and approval through government processes. This is looking like a clash of statements because, it's looking like, the deputy minister, she was trying to give like a here we go. Like, look, we are ready to host anytime we are called upon. And now, in fact, it's not even like we are ready to host. We are going to host. That's like the statement she's making. And of course, the minister himself, Gayton McKenzie, is saying that, look, even if we are going to host, if there's any need for us to host, we are going to go through the formal, formal processes. Is there something we are missing here, Jerry? Because it's looking like a clash of statements.
Yeah, the sports minister and the man that made the announcement, the woman that made the announcement.
Yeah, Peace Mabe, the deputy minister.
She was trying to do the Fabrizio Romano.
She tried to do the here we go. She tried to do the transfer.
Forget it, this has to go through official quarters before you make an official statement.
Yeah.
And being the personality you are, your statement should be guarded because they've not officially, CAF has not officially made an announcement that Morocco has pulled out.
Yeah.
But let it be said here on local room that there's no smoke without fire. So if this information is already out and South Africa is already making comments, whether guarded or unguarded, it shows that Morocco has already told CAF they're not willing to host the WAFCON due to the bad relationship. Even brothers do fight.
Yeah.
And of course, we've seen musicians who were twins and they went their separate ways. What more CAF and Morocco?
Yeah.
They are not related by blood. They are just related by affiliation and based on hosting the football.
Yeah.
And the fact that the vice president of CAF is from Morocco, I think this is a slap. You should be able to calm the nerves of whoever is sending you. Okay, yeah, these things are football matters. Let's not take it too harshly.
Yeah.
But of course, Morocco is not a country that is run by democracy. We have a king whose word is final and whose word is law.
But are we not suspecting some foul play here? Because, just like you mentioned, there's no smoke without fire. Do you think Mabe will just make that statement out of our own context?
That's what I'm saying.
There's something going on that we are not
it's already on. It's just for the official statement, because anything CAF does, we all know how it goes.
Yeah.
It's not like it goes on. Anyway, all these things take procedures.
Yeah.
Can you just wake up one morning because Morocco said they don't want to host, then you just come and make announcements, Africa goes ahead to host it? No.
Yeah.
At least you still try and do some appealing, because 60 days is short a time to start looking for a replacement.
Yeah.
Yes, but if that is the case, the best thing a leader can do in terms of the CAF president is to immediately the threat comes in, the information comes in that, okay, officially we don't want to host this competition, already make plans towards replacement. And the fact that Patrice Motsepe is a big boy when it comes to South Africa.
Yeah, of course.
He has the direct line of the president. You can easily call him and say, these people are trying to mess me up, I'm your son. Save me. And of course, South Africa will come to the aid of Motsepe.
Of course.
And try to show Morocco, oh, your vice is trying to mess you up because he's from Morocco. Don't worry. Why did you even take it there before? But we all know how the world would have seen it if South Africa was hosting 3 consecutive Wafcon.
Yeah.
Everybody will say, because Motsepe is from South Africa.
Yeah,
that's why
they'll be having such opinions.
But at least they looked at, okay, Morocco had the facilities. Yeah. Let's just take advantage of it instead of looking for hosts every time. And we know how difficult it is. CAF will have to start buttering presidents and so on to try and convince them on reason why they should host competitions. Sometimes it's no longer attractive because some of the countries look at, why am I hosting a Wafcon? What do I get from it? Financially, they don't make a lot. And that is why you will not blame Morocco too. They've looked at it. All the times we hosted that, we thought that CAF president, even though we didn't tell him directly, should have understood the message. We are hosting to win this time.
Yes.
But you have not been able to deliver on the pitch. So you don't expect him to go on the pitch and start scoring the goals for you.
Okay.
And even he went ahead at the AFCON and he was laughing with the king, assuring, don't worry, this is already done.
The tournament is yours until
it's yours. Go and take it.
Unfortunately,
Gaye said, no, that was not the plan. Brahim Dia said, I was not in the meeting when you had that conversation. I decided to play Panenka. So
I didn't know. I just want to do it.
So at least next time they want to have such meeting, they should invite Brahim Diaz, invite Gaye. Yeah. Invite all the federations in Africa.
You shouldn't leave anybody out.
Don't leave anybody out. And share the information. Come, be aware. Yes, play group stage. Do well. Nigeria, do well. Get to semi-final and humble yourself. We don't worry. We'll settle you. We'll know how we settle. That's when the meeting will make sense at the end of the day, because it's really not a nice one.
Yeah.
Because the way things are going, it's obvious that Morocco has decided that they're not going to host the Wafcon, except maybe, I don't know, maybe they can use FIFA influence to untwist Morocco. And you can't just decide to host a competition and 60 days to the competition without any... You are not facing war, for instance.
Yeah.
You are not facing economic crunch. Because there are certain situations where a country may decide not to host a competition.
Of course.
Or be stripped of hosting a competition.
You just want to pull out.
Nothing of such is happening in Morocco. Them pulling out is a total embarrassment for African football. Yeah. And it's a total embarrassment for world football. They started with the way the AFCON final ended, and they are crowning it out with the Wafcon.
But Jerry, sorry, we can't claim that they've pulled out here because it is not officially said. And we work with what is officially said.
You want me to write it down. Okay. Morocco has already pulled out. We have official outformation.
All right. We have Maiwa back. And Maiwa, I want to ask you this one. Where does this leave Patrice Motsepe? I mean, look at what Jerry said earlier, there's no smoke without fire. There's definitely something we are missing. But where does this leave Motsepe? Because number one, this is something happening under his own roof now among the South Africans. That's talking about the deputy minister and of course the minister himself. The minister trying to say, look, come on, you don't have to rush the news. Maybe we can still be given the hosting rights, but we have to go through the formal route. But Morocco is also there trying to pinch him and say, look, we just want to leave you. Maybe you didn't submit to what we wanted, because there's that rumor that they actually wanted Senegal to be stripped, of the Wafcon title. Where does this leave Motsepe? How does it strike a balance between Morocco and hosting tournaments in the future, and of course South Africa with what is happening internally?
Well, there's one thing apart from camaraderie that the sport minister wants to show, saying if Morocco decides to pull out, we are ready. I think things need to be done. Things need to be done properly, and that is the reason why you are seeing conflicting information. Obviously, if Morocco is pulling out, I think with the South Africans coming out to say that there is an inside information that Morocco probably pull out. Maybe we are just waiting for it to be announced officially. And even if South Africa wants to save Motsepe, it has to go through the official channel. The deputy minister and the minister cannot just wake up one morning and say, yes, CAF, bring your tournament here. It has to go through the proper channel. And that is the reason why you are seeing this conflicting information. If Morocco finally pulls out, I think definitely South Africa would want to, take charge, because they would not want their man to be disgraced. Okay. For the Moroccans, I think you will not blame them, since CAF had decided to sow their birthright to Morocco. CAF awards in the last 3-4 years have been held in Morocco. All the tournaments that comes to Africa, even the under-17, was held in Morocco. So they decided to sell their birthright to Morocco, and that's the reason why Morocco has CAF on a chokehold. Jai said something the other time that most of these countries, they think, what are they gaining and the rest of that. However, the upside of opening up your country to host events is the tourism that it attracts. I will take you back to Cote d'Ivoire hosting the Nations Cup. They spent about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they spent about $2 billion in terms of the hosting and the rest of that, and they made over $3 billion in terms of revenue. That's another $1 billion added to their economy. So I think what is missing is because we have African countries that are so plagued with corruption that they don't care about development of football, and that is the reason for that. And let me take you back to the Cote d'Ivoire thing. The Cote d'Ivoire thing happened because they've been on this issue for about 3-4 years. They had to put a whole lot of things in place, fire brigade approach, to ensure that the competition was held. And that's the reason why Cote d'Ivoire was able to host it. If other African countries can invest where Morocco has invested, we will not have this issue of Morocco holding CAF on a chokehold. Other African countries, they need to stop. In as much as you want to blame CAF for allowing Morocco to put them on a chokehold, other African countries, they have to step up. If we do not step up, we'll continue to have this kind of situation.
Okay, but what if Motsepe didn't eventually give the hosting rights to South Africa and it still maintains it with Morocco? What would that be letting us know in African football? Are we still trying to say that Morocco still has him in a chokehold? Is he still submitting to what they need, or he's just doing it for the sake of, look, let this thing just slide? Maybe consequent tournaments will give it to somebody else.
However, the moment to announce this officially, this is more of a back channel discussion. Until Morocco comes out officially, CAF should assume that Morocco is hosting. Definitely, we know there are other things going on inside or whatever it is. No matter the discussion it is, if Morocco accepts to host, CAF should not say anything. However, this should be a going forward thing. I think there should be protocols in place. When a particular country wants to disgrace you, you have an option ready. Let me give a typical example. The FIFA World Cup that is going to be held in Saudi Arabia in 2030. If Saudi Arabia decides to pull a fast round on FIFA, FIFA already has a plan B that they can quickly put in place, and they will host that particular tournament. I think CAF should be able to have that kind of a plan B in place. Yes, and I think going forward, when you are giving the hosting rights, you also have a plan B. So you are giving the hosting right to Morocco to host, but there's a plan B maybe in Nigeria in case something happens, God forbid, what if natural disaster happen and Morocco cannot host? Will football not go on? I think CAF needs to think long time and not just put their eggs in one basket to avoid this kind of disgrace.
Absolutely. Jerry, let me ask you, Maiwa mentioned something. He said if Morocco is not coming officially to say they are not hosting, that, they are still the host now, for now. Should CAF allow that one to continue? Because what if it's now 2 to 3 days before the tournament and they are now saying they don't want to host anymore? Don't you think CAF should actually start looking for the plan B now, because it's less than 50-something days to the tournament?
Well, what is it about Morocco? Everybody is talking about Morocco as if people have not hosted the competition. How many editions of Wafcon have we had before Morocco decided to step in?
Yeah, but it took the last two.
The hosting of the Wafcon was between Nigeria and South Africa for the first 5 editions.
Yeah.
And nobody complained. Nigeria and South Africa were just exchanging baton. This one hosts this year.
Yes.
2 years' time, South Africa will host. Nigeria will come back again. Until Equatorial Guinea stepped in and decided to do the big fish. And they hosted twice. And they won 1 out of those 2 editions.
Yeah.
Maybe they felt that since the time Nigeria and South Africa were hosting it, Nigeria was winning all the edition, then they will give it to South Africa. Maybe they thought that was how the arrangement was. They didn't know that Nigeria put in the work. They have the quality. That is why they were able to win. And I think Cameroon also at a point hosted. That was in 2016.
Yeah.
And I think, I would say for Ghana as well. So when Ghana hosted in 2018, they should have won as well because they hosted. But that is not the case. Maybe, I don't know, the arrangement that Patrice Motsepe had with them, it was clearly obvious that Morocco were planning that since they were going to host, they wanted to win. And that is the agenda and the mindset we should all be talking about.
So this is
Morocco,
like a call
Morocco is not El Dorado. People have been, how many editions have been held in Africa? And we didn't hear any complaint. Nobody talked about that, okay, all the editions Nigeria won. Would you say the days of the likes of Perpetual Culture when she was dominating, even the recent times of Asisa Doshoala, which player in Africa was better than those players back in their days? The Messi Akide days and so on and so forth. Nigeria was #1. That is why they were winning all the titles. Morocco needs to work on their football. It's not when you go and arrange some players from different nationals. Maybe one day when we start checking their citizenship. Thank God they didn't play Nigeria in the playoffs. Well, maybe tomorrow we would have had a situation where they didn't change their citizenship correctly. Because nobody is talking now.
Jerry, don't do
anyway,
that.
they are lucky they didn't play Nigeria.
Jerry, don't do that. Jerry, don't do that. We have players. We don't want to go to Super Eagles.
How many of their players head to head? It's not recently Morocco started playing football that people are. In time past, we could pick one player out of Morocco for the past 10 years who have done well. Marouane Chamakh, that's 1 out of how many years? Mustafa Hadji, that's 1 out of how many years? Since then, what have we been seeing?
But you can't they were developing their football.
Developing football, you don't have the stars. And Russia is developing football. They should win World Cup now when they hosted in 2018. I mean, is their league better than the Russian league? Saudi league has been spending a lot of money bringing Ronaldo and co. Yes, if they host the World Cup, they should win it too because they are developing their league. They are spending on football. Same thing with USA. USA is co-hosting the next World Cup. Among the 3 teams, at least Mexico is also co-hosting. Mexico should win the World Cup too.
So Maiwa, do you think Morocco, they are suffering from this,
win at all cost syndrome?
Hosting cost thing? Because, I mean, look at the last 2 editions of the AFCON. They hosted, they went to the final and they didn't get to win. Do you think that's what's bothering them? And now they're not looking at saying, look, if you're not guaranteed to win this one, maybe we should just pull out. Okay, we are still looking for Maiwa to be with us.
Yeah,
let me put that to you.
What if?
Do you think they're
let me play the devil's advocate. What if? Okay,
Maiwa, yeah, good to have you back.
So I mean, the thing is, yes, Jerry is making a outside Africa. Remember, from tournaments, FIFA night tournaments, 8-game competition was held in Morocco. What happened to other African countries? These are the things we should be thinking about. See, the thing is, yes, this will be the 28th edition, the 14th edition or 15th edition of the Wafcon. And different countries are hosted and the rest of that. However, we cannot put all the blame on Morocco because if Morocco has been the one bailing out everybody, remember the 2022 edition that they hosted, they literally had to pull Morocco in less than 90 days, and Morocco was ready. They were up and doing, and they were able to host that particular tournament. the country that was supposed to host, decided to pull out. So I think we should not put the blame on Morocco. Yes, they are not Eldorado. People have been hosting it before they came, and if they decide not to host, people will continue to host. We understand that. However, other countries are not stepping up. They are not, and that is the reason why everything goes to Morocco. If other countries are stepping up, I mean, look at the next AFCON. The next AFCON will be held by 4 countries, different countries. What is the reason for that? Because one country cannot host it, because they feel they don't have enough capacity to do it. And if 4 countries is trying to host 24 teams, what do you expect? So African countries need to step up if we don't want Morocco to be holding everybody in the net, and that's just it.
Oh, I've been making that call for African teams to actually, step up, because if they don't, we'll be having things like this in our football. And the situation remains uncertain, with CAF yet to trigger alternative hosting arrangements. CAF has not even announced officially that Morocco don't want to do this anymore.
If you are waiting for CAF to make official arrangements today, you are wasting your time.
But they are the governing body.
Yes, that is how they operate, Oga. See, let me even shock you. Do you know that the CAF media channel, they take 90 days to even answer email to fellow journalists, not to even talk about
making official statements.
Journalists that are supposed to come and cover your event, if they send you mail, they will go and get the story from another source before CAF will now officially post and say this is what is actually going on. Is it the same CAF you're waiting for? Other media channels would have posted CAF content. This was the best AFCON where at least on X we were seeing updates from the official handle. Before, other people were doing it on behalf of CAF, and CAF was not making money out of it. This was the first edition I saw that CAF was strategic in terms of media. They understood the job this time. Maybe Morocco taught them something or two, and they decided to take advantage of it, which has not been done before. For the first time, CAF made more money from any of the CAF AFCON competition they've been doing with this competition.
Of course. And this one
I
was
expect them
actually,
to step up from this
wonderful. This one was
Morocco
fantastic.
has decided that to put sansan inside the stew because they did not take the larger share of the food. Because in a party, it's because you are the host, you cook the food, you will take the larger share.
Okay.
No, if you invited too many guests, there's no how you eat all the food, the large portion, because you want your guests to be happy.
Jerry, you are the one cooking right now.
At the end of the day, Morocco is the one. I don't understand.
Yeah, the one cooking. Let's leave that. Let's await them, because we still have some days to the start of the Wafcon. So let's see what CAF will come out with. Because for me,
be on record. I've told you.
Yes, Morocco will pull out.
Morocco backdoor has told Mosepe, if we are going to host this next one,
we have to be guaranteed.
You have to write it on paper. All the referees should be aware that Morocco is going to win it. If not,
I think this one
what happened
is going to be a tough
what happened in last Wafcon and AFCON, we are not going to take it.
This one is going to be a tough one.
So Mosepe say, no, I can't sign this kind of document. We can't make this kind of agreement.
Maiwa,
South Africa, are you ready? Okay.
Maiwa, go on.
Yeah, if Morocco see, I said this 1 year ago, almost a year ago now. If Morocco wins this particular tournament, they are going to win it. Take this bank, they are going to win it. You saw what happened in the last AFCON final. You saw the protest, the one against Nigeria, the Wafcon. You saw what happened to the officials and the rest of that. If they succeed in hosting this, they are going to win it, whether by hook or by crook or by.
This time, this one they were taking towels. They will take all the players' boots. The other one they will take it away. They will hold their boots and be collecting it.
They will be
dragging their boots. You must not use boot to play.
No, these are
they will take goalkeeper. They will remove his hand.
They will be more gentle on females.
Gentle.
I want to
okay.
feel so.
No problem.
Anyway, from one form of controversy, to another one. I don't know what's going on with controversy these days. This time it concerns a player, an active football player, because one of the legends, in fact, to some people, arguably is the greatest of all time. Cristiano Ronaldo is reportedly on strike at Al Nassr, a Saudi club, due to the club's lack of investment in new players, particularly compared to rivals Al Hilal. And the Portuguese superstar feels the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, the PIF, is claiming that they are favoring Al Hilal, allocating more funds and signing better players, putting his club Al Nassr at a disadvantage in the title race. And Ronaldo's frustration stems from Al Nassr's minimal spending in the January transfer window, acquiring only one player, and that's 21-year-old Aider Abdul Karim, whereas Al Hilal spent at least about 43 million euros on 4 new players, including former Real Madrid legend himself, Karim Benzema, and this perceived disparity because it has led to speculation about Ronaldo's future at the club, with some suggesting he may leave earlier than expected. Jerry, don't you think this is like a selfish attitude on the part of Cristiano Ronaldo? Because it's looking like the investment laid by the PIF. First, PIF has about, let me let you know that PIF has about 75% acquisition, about rights on the 4 clubs, the top 4 clubs of the Saudi League: Al Hilal, Al Ahly, Al Ittihad, and of course, what club? Al Nassr. That's Ronaldo's club. And in Ronaldo's latest contract, he has about 15% stake in his club. He has, in fact, his salary is a lot. Don't you think that he's looking at it from a point like, look, or let me say the PIF is looking at it from a point like, we spent on your club. You are 50% of Al Nassr. You are Cristiano Ronaldo. We spent a lot on you. Don't spend on other teams too. And this is a team that last won a league title in 2018-19 before Ronaldo even got there. Al Hilal has won 3 in a row. I think he's doing this because they recently signed Karim Benzema, and it's going to be like, a shot to their own title, ambitions. They are 1 point behind Al Hilal, and they are playing Benzema's former club Al Ittihad next. What do you make of Cristiano Ronaldo's actions?
Yeah, I think it's unfair to say
To who?
that Ronaldo is disrespecting the Saudi League.
Okay.
And the journalist said that this is Saudi Arabian League. It's not Ronaldo Arabian.
A league is a league, Jerry. A league is a league. You are playing there, they are paying you. A league is a league. You saw them there before you went there.
I'm a Nigerian journalist, but let me tell the man, the Saudi Arabian League is Ronaldo Arabian League.
I won't say that.
See,
I won't say that. It's not the only one there. It's not the only big name there.
What were they making in terms of viewership before Ronaldo joined the Saudi League?
So
how many
Jerry,
players? Let me finish now.
Go ahead.
How many players would have gone to the Saudi League if not because Cristiano Ronaldo made the move to the Saudi League? And now, how many seasons has he spent in the Saudi League? He's been unable to win the league title because Al Hilal looks like they have the better option of players.
Really?
Yes. The thing is that there's no smoke without fire.
Okay.
He that wear the shoes know where it pinches the most.
Okay.
Look at Al Hilal. Mid-season, they were able to ship in Benzema just like that. And I think
not just like that.
Wait.
We'll go there, but not just like that.
He protested Benzema.
Yes.
That he doesn't want to take lesser pay. Because
they are not willing to pay him his base salary. They're asking him to take it from his image rights.
And he had his way.
Of course, he wanted a change of scenery.
No,
why did
they insult Benzema? Why did Benzema go on strike? Because he was to still be earning the same money.
Okay.
Yes, Benzema did it and he got away with it.
Yeah.
So now Ronaldo is saying his own. His own is that he's not saying he wants to leave the Saudi League. He's saying that those who are pumping the money, I think I have a problem with the fact that there's a certain body that is in charge of sharing the money on all the teams.
Okay.
Definitely there will be professional treatment. No matter how. Yes, there will be professional treatment.
Okay.
If the person at Al Hilal has the ears of the accountant who is doling out the money, they will surely make sure and find a way that Al Hilal will also get professional treatment in terms of this option of players.
Yeah.
Al Nassr also have good players, whether you like it or not.
All right.
They need to work on the pitch and maybe give more.
Okay.
But if Ronaldo is saying that he feels that his club side is unduly cheated in terms of the sharing formula of the funds to buy players, I think Ronaldo is making a point. He should be taken seriously.
So let me give you the players.
How much? They're making about 40 million, but now they're making up to $240 million.
See,
it's a lot of money.
Where I would say Ronaldo has a point is this. Fine. If you look at their net spend, they have about 369 million euros in net spend, while for Al Hilal is about 560 million euros.
That's a lot.
Yes, there's a huge disparity. But would you agree with me that Cristiano Ronaldo himself is like 4 players in Al Hilal? Because the money they will be spending on 4 players in Al Hilal, they'll be spending on Ronaldo alone. He's the biggest name, just like you claimed.
Who sent them?
Even in the Saudi League.
Yeah,
he has players. He has Sadio Mane. They signed Sadio Mane. They signed Otavio. I remember they signed Seko Fofana. Amery Laporte, who was actually one of the finest defenders in Europe, he joined them. They have Inigo Martinez now. They have Bento, a Brazilian international goalkeeper. There's still likes of Kingsley Coman. Marcelo Brozovic is there. Are you telling me they are not enough for you to win the league title? And they actually took the coach that led Al Hilal to their last title Jorge Jesus is also with them. So are you telling me they are not ready to win the league now? Why is he saying that they are being unfair?
He still feels it's not enough. Let's not forget Ronaldo is a winner. He likes to win. And it's unfortunate that he's been putting a lot of effort.
So should you be concerned about what your rivals are doing if you want to win the title?
Let them spend equal money first. Then they can now say they are competing on a level playing field. Because Ronaldo is no longer in his 30s and so. Okay. So even in his 40s, he's still doing his best for the team. But he feels that he's unduly cheated where his club side is not getting the same amount of funding that Al Hilal is getting. Let Al Hilal and Al Nassr get the same funding. Then we can have a conversation.
All right, Maiwa, I mean, last big player I could say Al Hilal actually signed was Neymar. You remember when they brought him in. But then, since that from PSG, since that time, Neymar didn't really deliver and they let him go. And I think the books has been balanced at Al Hilal, but they have good players like Darwin Nunez, Malcolm. I mean, they have Serge Milinkovic-Savic. They also signed likes of Ruben Neves, and of course, do you think Ronaldo is right about Al Nassr being unfairly treated?
They are the Saudi prince,
PIF,
the Saudi crown, the PIF. They are the one funding those clubs, so Ronaldo should not complain. That's number one. Number two, Ronaldo knew what was going on before he joined. Number three, the money spent on Ronaldo alone, it's enough for him to not complain because he's taking a whole lot of resources from the PIF. He's only saying this because of his own selfish interest. He has been there for over 4 years. He has not been able to win the league, and that is the reason why he's speaking. However, you don't come out publicly to attack your employers. That is a wrong move entirely. You don't attack the structures that you knew before you joined. Now, coming to, what was spent and what is not spent. There's a João Felix, there's an array of stars in that particular team. The only reason why they've not been able to deliver is because the players have not lived up to expectations. Other players around Ronaldo, they are letting him down. So I think they should look inward and stop blaming the PIF. Even as much as I disagree that the government is running the Saudi IF and the Saudi League will literally collapse. There is no. I do not support it, but I mean that is on ground at the moment there. So Ronaldo has no right to complain. He should get with the program, get with his team, and ensure that he still do their best to win the league. How do you complain when you have a Sadio Mane and the list goes?
That's like the network is really dealing with us on the Mayowa side. But Jerry, I mean, I was going to ask you, Al Hilal, they won the league just before Al Ittihad. Al Ittihad are defending champions. The league was last won by Al Hilal. Al Ahly are the current champions of the AFC Champions League. Ronaldo's team are not in the Champions League. They last won the title in 2018-19 season. So if you spend more money on those other clubs, I mean, you are okay.
Spend money, but they don't have Ronaldo. One.
But what has Ronaldo done for Al Nassr?
Yes, and if you have Ronaldo alone cannot do it. He needs the players. Imagine, I thought they would have been giving. Okay, Maiwa is back.
Maiwa.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, please go on.
What I'm saying is this. I said Ronaldo is not serious. Yeah, Ronaldo is not serious. You have a Bento, you have a João Felix, you have a Sadio Mane, a Nations Cup winner. You have a whole lot of players, a whole lot of star-studded players that are doing so well in Europe. They are in that particular club. I think Ronaldo is speaking out of selfishness, and this is becoming a pattern. You don't attack your employers because you are angry. To be honest with you, he's a professional. You should not do that. The same thing he did with Manchester United when he was going. Yes, the system might not be perfect for you, but you don't attack your employers. You knew what you were getting. You knew what you were getting into before you got into it. Now you are coming publicly to attack your employers. I think what he's doing is inappropriate, and it should be cautioned.
Jerry, what are your final thoughts on that one? Don't you think that Ronaldo is taking it a bit too far? Because for me, I think with those quality of players around him, they should still be trying to win, and they also have a title-winning coach too. Don't you think they should be looking? And they're just 1 point behind.
Your Felix was virtually finished before he left.
But he's been one of their best players since he joined.
How will you be the best player when you are playing the Saudi League? A flop in Europe at his age. Ronaldo is already aging out. The Brozovic you mentioned.
Yeah.
the thing is that these players are being paid a lot of money, mostly the players in Al Nassr, for instance.
Yeah.
And when they came over to Saudi League and found that it's not competitive, they decided to slow the pace down. Yeah, which is no fault of the PIF. At least the players should be able to know that you are playing in Saudi League doesn't mean that you have to reduce the tempo. Maybe they need to get the managers who will bring out the best out of the Al Nassr side, and they can virtually win the title. Then for Ronaldo, I heard he's just recently touched down in Portugal.
Yeah.
And there's already speculation that he might be making a move to the MLS ahead of the World Cup, which is also might be that there may be there's me fire there.
On that one, do you think the league will suffer without him?
The Saudi League?
Yeah.
They will go into comatose. They will go into comatose. If the day Ronaldo leaves the Saudi League, a lot of people will forget that the Saudi League exists.
You think?
That's the truth.
Why?
Which other player is
they signed him, but I think the league has been attractive since then.
Yes, because they signed Ronaldo.
Okay, so do you think him leaving will make the league less
what happened
attractive?
to the Russian league will happen to the Saudi League gradually.
Myra, do you agree with that? Do you think if Ronaldo leaves the Saudi League, it's going to be less attractive to players?
I don't think so. The reason why the league is attractive is because of the money. Let me take you back to the days of China. Remember when China was spending money like Saudi Arabia was spending money when they wanted to launder their image with football? The same thing Saudi Arabia is doing at the moment. A whole lot of stars left England and went to Saudi Arabia. Oscar was one of them. Ramirez was one of them. Yes. They left England and they went to Saudi Arabia. And they went to China. So the same thing would happen here. Provided the money is still flowing, until China cut off that money, that is when people are no longer going there. Until Saudi Arabia cuts off the money, you will still see players leaving Europe to Saudi Arabia, whether Ronaldo is there or not. Yes, you might say he brings viewership in and just for that. However, let's note that the Saudi Arabian league is not making profit. They are just trying to launder their image. That's just it. They are not after profit. They just want to launder their image against the World Cup that is coming there. So that's what they are doing. Provided that money is flowing, people will continue to go there, whether Ronaldo lose or not.
No, you should be happy. They're also linking him to Manchester United.
I don't think he's going to go back for the third time.
Yeah, he's coming back at least to play with Michael Carrick. He has made. Let's not forget, I made comments about Carrick that he's impressed with his managerial skills. It might be that Man United is willing to pay that money to bring him to.
I think Manchester United are on a good trajectory now. I don't think they want a Ronaldo who cares more about scoring about. I think he cares more about getting to 1,000 goals. I don't think he's.
Yes, he can do it at Man United.
I mean, you just said that. I don't think Manchester United.
You are not allowed to decide.
I don't think Manchester United.
Ratcliffe wants him.
No, of course. If Ratcliffe wants him, no, we are just saying
because he will attract a lot of. He will bring a lot of attention to the Manchester United squad.
Did you hear that? Maybe you should go to.
He's not a Liverpool legend, so
he doesn't have to be a legend.
He has to be at that age to.
It's about where he can get his 1,000 goals.
That means Gerrard should come back too. Gerrard should go back.
Anyway, his contract runs until 2027, but this public spat is uncharacterized for the star player, leading to speculation about a potential change of plans. I don't know how many times Cristiano Ronaldo wants to actually move to a club. For me, I think he's more interested in getting that personal record of 1,000 goals. Because right now, making these kind of statements, why are you even concerned about what your opponent is doing? You can still win the league. You were top of the table. They were top of the table at some point. He didn't come out to say the other teams were less strengthened. When they were leading the table, he didn't care about them. Now that Benzema is at Al Hilal, he feels that they are now fueled for them to challenge their team. Yeah. What if they go on to win the league title with even with Benzema at Al Hilal? What is he going to say by then? I mean,
Al Nassr doesn't have the number of goals that Benzema will bring.
And they squandered 6 points. They squandered 6 points.
I mean, Al Hilal has not even signed Benzema at the time, and they still lost 6 points.
Don't worry.
No. I think for me, I think
it's coming to Manchester.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah. It's coming home.
Okay.
Ronaldo is coming home.
Anyway, let's move on. And time is fast spent on the show, but let's tell you about John Obi Mikel, who has revealed that Manchester United were unable to sign him due to eligibility rules for young African players. He spent a month on trial at Old Trafford at 16, training with the first team players like Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. And also, Mikel says that Sir Alex Ferguson was impressed with him, but the Premier League rule requiring players to have represented their national team in 75% of matches before signing blocked the move, as he hadn't played for Nigeria's national team at the time. And Mikel explained that because he was 16, he wasn't permitted to play for the first team, preventing United from completing the move. And the strategy was to get him in and out before he turned 18. but that wasn't possible in his case, and he eventually joined Chelsea in 2006. I think the Chelsea move, I mean, was the best for all parties. Jerry, quickly, don't you think so?
Yeah, controversial. I think that was the most controversial transfer ever. I think he still has the record because unveiled by Manchester United.
Yeah,
by
even putting on the jersey. Yeah,
he was already sitting with Ferguson and co, and the negotiation was done and dusted.
Yeah,
and something comes up. I don't think we've seen any of that. I think the one that came close was Azel Demige waiting at Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, when we went back
there's something about Nigerian players
Brom.
involved in controversial moves.
Yeah,
and Mikel stands out as far as controversy is concerned. Yeah, making the Chelsea move eventually turned out to be a great move for him.
Yeah,
and because a lot of us were worried about whether he was going to get playing time under Sir Alex Ferguson with his age and the disparity of the fact that African players don't do well at Manchester United, which was a thing back then because there was an evidence of Jemba, the Cameroonian. Yeah. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, injuries didn't allow him play and he wasn't getting playing time as well.
Yeah.
So
eventually
making the move to Chelsea, playing under Jose Mourinho, though Nigerians were not happy that they didn't really see the number 10 attacking footballer they saw that was given to them. It's just like what you ordered versus what you got. What Mourinho later gave us as Mikel was different from what he was giving.
Yeah.
But with that being said, he still had a successful
I think he made him a better
Chelsea.
player too.
Yeah, better defender, which I see. And of course, winning the Champions League, the Premier League titles, he saw it all at Chelsea and he had a lot of playing time, a lot of matches under his belt, which somehow, arguably, would have maybe got at Manchester United. So eventually it paid out. But the controversy was just too much.
I think it paid out for Mikel. And let's use the opportunity to tell you about Nigerian players that actually made big moves during this recently concluded January transfer window. Chief of them is Ademola Lookman. He has made a huge move to Atletico Madrid, leaving Atalanta, the Italian club, for a 4-year deal. I mean, 5 years, some are even saying this is considered one of the best transfers of the window. I mean, good one for Ademola Lookman. But Maiwa, let me ask you. I was very happy for Ademola Lookman, when he made this move and finally leaving Atalanta. You know everything about the controversy and all of that. But are you not concerned about the team player of Atletico Madrid? I mean, we know their coach El Cholo Diego Simeone and their style of play. Yes, a lot of people will argue that it has changed over the course of this season. We could see that he has fantastic attackers, Alex Baena, he has Nico Gonzalez, Thiago Almada. I mean, a certain Griezmann is also there, and of course, Julian Alvarez and Alexander Sørloth. Adding Ademola Lookman, what do you see for the Nigerian player into this team? Do you see him pairing Julian Alvarez or Sørloth at the front, and where do you think his game will be brought out the best for Atletico Madrid?
I think this move is well suited for him. If you see Atletico Madrid as transformed, remember they are a team that usually scores a goal or even draws. Now they are scoring goals for fun. Yes, a lot of people I say over the weekend they drew 0-0 and just for that. Yes, it happens sometimes. However, if you look at how they play right now, they are more attacking minded, and that suits and Ademola Lookman. The same job he did so well at the Wafcon. The passes and also even going for goals himself. He will continue to do the same thing for Atletico Madrid. Remember, a Griezmann, is beginning to age out, and that do that particular job. So the move for Ademola Lookman is well suited. We saw what he could do in that one. He continues doing the same thing with with Atletico Madrid based on the ideology shift of Diego Simeone.
The move, it was touted to go to Fenerbahce in the Turkey league, to play alongside Victor Osimhen, who is actually playing for Galatasaray. That would be a good Nigerian connection in the Turkish league, and also with Paulo Onuachu at Trabzonspor. But eventually opted for Atletico Madrid. Do you think that's a fantastic move for Ademola Lookman?
That's not the connection I was praying for. And we're already tired of our players going to Turkey, the best of our players. He did it very well at the last Wafcon. He deserves a big move. And Atletico Madrid is a great improvement from Atalanta. Champions League football consistency, and the Spanish League exposure. And of course, who says he might still have a go at the Wafcon? Talking about the CAF Player of the Year, playing for a big side like Atletico Madrid and still doing well for the Super Eagles. If the Super Eagles eventually makes it to the World Cup, who says? Playing for Atletico Madrid will give him a lot of exposure and give him more playing time to really showcase what he has. So I think it's a big move for Ademola Lookman. Kudos to him. though Atlanta did everything to score to that move, they wanted him to move to Fenerbahce because Fenerbahce brought bigger money.
Yeah.
But at least Atletico Madrid proved that they really needed him and equal that transfer fee. And of course, he's playing in a club side where he's going to be well seen. Not in Turkey, where the real Victor is struggling to be seen.
All right, we have other notable transfers. We have the likes of Rafiu Durosimi, who went to Pisa, of course, from Victoria Plzen. We have the likes of Philippe Otele, who joined Hamburg. We also have Tochukwu Nadi, who was eventually snapped up by Olympique Marseille. I think that's also a big move for a player who didn't really get minutes at the AFCON, but he still went on to join a big club in Olympique Marseille. And also Chibuke Nwai, who has also gone to Turkey to join Trabzonspor. He'll be playing with Paul Onuachu there. And of course, the one we've been saying here on the show, Frank Onyeka, eventually getting snapped up by Coventry City and to play under Frank Lampard. And of course, the midfielder who has struggled for regular playing time at Brentford. He has only made 6 Premier League appearances, but of course, he should have more game time in the Championship, and hopefully they are going to get promoted to the Premier League. He's going to do that with them. Of course, Fisayo Dele Bashiru was also trying to get a move. It didn't materialize eventually, but I think good one generally for Nigerian players, in the January transfer window. Sani Suleiman also joined the RB Leipzig and Uchenna Ogundu to Augsburg. I think this is good to be seeing the players in the top 5 league, Nigerian players in the top 5 league. Hopefully, this is going to give Eric Chell a bigger scope, to get more players, going forward for the Super League. Of course, let's end the show by telling you about the big game tonight. Arsenal up against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. Wow. I mean, Arsenal, they were touted to, try to sign Sandro Tonali of Newcastle in the deadline day of the January transfer window. It didn't materialize. Chelsea, of course, they were, trying to bring players in. Jeremy Jake eventually joined at Liverpool, but they recalled Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg, the AFCON winner for Senegal. This game, 3-2 in the first leg in favor of Arsenal. Maybe there are no away goals rules. For the Carabao Cup. A draw will lead them into extra time, though, and eventual penalties. Who do you think is going to get to the Carabao Cup final? Arsenal or Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea has proven to be a cup-winning side, and that's very dangerous for Arsenal at the moment. So, because of that, we want to give it to Chelsea. But because the fact that they have a ChatGPT coach,
PE coach,
it's going to be difficult to really say. But Arsenal winning 3-2 already puts them at an advantage. But at Stamford Bridge, it's going to be a difficult one. Yeah. It's going to be a difficult one to pick. Yeah, I think Arsenal should pick this one, but I don't know. Chelsea might do.
But in that first leg, Jerry, it was a tight affair. Chelsea came at Arsenal. They played their best game, but Arsenal defensively, they're one of the best sides in Europe. Do you think Mikel Arteta is going to try to challenge, come out and say, look, we don't want that result of 3-2 in the first leg. We want to come outside and try to dismantle you. Yeah. But put in mind that Liam Buzynio's Chelsea, they've only lost 6 in 7 games. His first 7 games, they've lost 1. They've won 6, and that loss was against Arsenal. Do you think they want to repeat the same thing, or they want to do better than the first
it's going to be a difficult game. You should not underrate the PE coach, like you said. He should take it seriously.
He's a coach.
But it's going to be a difficult game for the both sides. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Maiwa, who do you see making it to Wembley, Arsenal or Chelsea tonight?
I want to caution you guys from underrating that coach. He was a coach of Strasbourg.
Yeah.
He was doing so well in Strasbourg, and you are calling him PE coach. As somebody that turned the fortune.
It's better than the one he called him now.
Butler FC, can they do it? That's the question we should be asking. But I think the momentum is with Arsenal. I think this is an opportunity for them to be able to get something nailed down. They led 3-2, and for them, they just defend and probably get the early goals. But if they are not careful, Rosner is doing something fantastic with Chelsea, and they might just do it against a bottling Arsenal if Arsenal decided to bottle it tonight. So I will not write off Chelsea tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, Maiwa, for being with us on the show today. Big thanks also to Jerry Abeloye for joining on the show. And of course, up next will be Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay tuned. I'm Afizo Gubanjo, and I'm saying have a wonderful end to the day. Bye for now.
VOP TV,
Now, you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
When you say, make Nigeria no happen to you, me sef go say, make you no happen to Nigeria.
You dey bypass your light meter. You dey jump queue.